Thank you for joining us. You were just listening to internationally known singer-songwriter and good friend Jessie Terry's Kaleidoscope. On behalf of the K-Team, as one of our writers lovingly refers to us, welcome to Kaleidoscope WoJo's virtual book launch and book signing. We're so glad to be here. Kaleidoscope WoJo, Reflections on Women's Journeys, announces the first in a series of anthologies, In My Shoes. Today, we're going to flip through the pages of our story, introduce you to our writers, and tell you what's coming up next for Kaleidoscope WoJo. With so many writers, and for the sake of time, much of today's launch has been recorded. This book is dedicated to our moms, grandmothers, aunts, sisters, daughters, granddaughters, nieces, cousins, and dear friends. While we may not universally share the same beliefs on all manners of subjects, we do share the commonality of recognizing our unique journeys as women. We would like to thank the following individuals for their support, encouragement, and review of the story: Sally Sutton, Dave and Faith Stevens, Jim Beam, Ryan Chester, and the original writers of our prototype Familiar Voices. You can read the bios of our co-founders, Deb, Tom, and Marianne, while you hear a bit more about us. 3 people started off to write a business book, relying on decades of experience in corporate positions and as consultants. Instead, we ended up going down another path. Kaleidoscope WoJo, In My Shoes, is the culmination of 3 years of effort at creating a platform to reach women writers and to collect personal memoirs on a variety of topics. Every life is about overcoming obstacles and challenges that crop up unannounced and unexpected. No one escapes life unscathed. Our responses to these events shape the people we become. We have gathered the best of those stories submitted to us that reflect the challenges that life presents and the power of transcendence. In addition to our book, In My Shoes, we also offer webinars, workshops, and retreats to foster the art of storytelling for individuals, work teams, and organizations. Our lives are reflected in the stories we choose to tell, as well as the stories that teams and organizations tell reflect the culture embedded in them. Come, explore the power of women's voices and be inspired. As mentioned in our foreword, our book, In My Shoes, includes a very diverse group of women writers in background, location, education, and writing styles. Today, you'll get an introduction to the writers, and you'll find more of their details on our website. You'll be able to put a face to the name, get to know them by reading their bios, get a glimpse of their story through their excerpt, and hear what they have to say about participating in this project.
And now Kaleidoscope WoJo, Reflections on Women's Journeys, announces In My Shoes writer Renee Varnadore and her story, Imagine. Renee Varnadore is an author and spiritual teacher. She taught English and drama in Southern California public schools, teaching her students to write their stories and perform them. She has written and produced 5 plays. Renee teaches and coaches online via Zoom and Facebook, reneevarnadore.com, and lives in Rosarito Beach, Baja California, Mexico, with her husband and 2 cats. And now let's hear an excerpt from Renee's essay, Imagine. We could choose one of the other Beatles. There was a lot of competition for John, so I settled on Ringo because I liked his name. And my best friend, Kim, whispered to me Ringo was hers. What was the 4th one's name? I settled on George. I told myself I didn't want to follow the crowd. I would take the leftovers.
And now let's hear from Renee. Renee, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I live in Baja California, Mexico. I grew up in San Diego, California. You can see the footage of the the ocean out there is basically our front yard. And, we couldn't have done that in San Diego. So it's just so nice to be living in Mexico. It's like, people that leave their home country and go out and live in another country get a different perspective on the world. I mean, we are like with this cultural structure, and we think that's reality, and then we realize, oh no, that's just my culture. And you start looking around and you start seeing a bigger picture of all of humanity. And so I think that's kind of kind of the impetus to my story.
Awesome. So actually, that's the next question. What was your inspiration?
Yeah, it's just since we moved to Mexico, it was something that I didn't want to do. My husband wanted to move to Mexico, and I'm like, no. I had this awful feeling about what Mexico was, because we'd gone down to Mexico, and in the icky parts in the 1970s and 80s, and it just seemed like everybody was just trying to sell you junk. But actually living here and meeting the people, all the people, the regular people at the store and at the grocery store, and then the people that you meet, on the beach, and the friends of friends that you meet. I've just found that I'm not going to say that all Mexican people are open-hearted, but I am going to say that I have become more open-hearted living in Mexico than I was in the United States. So it just freed me up to be more of who I really am, because I feel like the heart-based culture, as opposed to the clock-based culture, is more attuned to me.
Wow. That's pretty deep. Thank you. Wow. So what was it like to participate in the project with Kaleidoscope WoJo?
Well, I really am excited about the whole entire process. I heard about the Kaleidoscope essay growing up in the 60s and 70s, and on House Writers community, and I'm like, oh wow, I'm in the middle of writing what it was like to grow up in the 60s and 70s, because I was doing this whole life review and this whole teaching memoir that I was in the middle of writing, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna put the book over here right now, and I'm just gonna write this and rewrite this and rewrite this and rewrite this, and then I let it go for a couple of months, and just went on to teaching a class online on Facebook, Facebook Live through my Facebook group, and I just started focusing on teaching. And when I got the call that I was going to be part of the anthology, something just opened up inside of me, and I ran and I told my husband, and he's like, okay, he looked me in the eyes and he said, okay, so how come you aren't writing? And I thought, well, I was told that you can't make money as a writer, that you have to teach. And then I started crying, and then I realized, you know what? I'm a writer. I'm going to write. I don't care if I make any money or not. These people think I'm a writer. I'm a writer. I'm an author now. So forget, I'm just going to write.
Good for you. That's awesome. So what else would you like to share with the group?
I really, if you read my piece, Imagine, you know that I'm one of my things that's been inside me for a long time is world peace, and then I find out that you can't really go out and do world peace without resisting a whole bunch of structures that are in place. And so what you really have to do is what I had to do anyway was find inner peace and find peace within. And so I'm doing things like, for instance, in my Facebook group, I have a class every Monday, and sometimes we do card readings, and sometimes we do meditations on peace, on world peace, or on inner peace. And so, like this Monday, for instance, Mondays at 1 Pacific Standard Time, where we do meditations for peace. So that's, that's a project that's near and dear to my heart, just helping people resonate with the peaceful places inside of them, the joyful places, and being able to expand more in love. And so those are the three things that I actually teach. I'm a teacher of love. I'm a teacher of peace.
That's really cool. So what's next for you from a writing perspective, or anything else you want to share?
Yeah. So I'm in the middle of, I have the 3 class, and then I also have another class. And what we're doing is we're doing like a creative collaboration, and we're taking stories like our spiritual awakening stories, and we're stringing them together, and we're adding song, and we're adding dance, and we're adding visual arts to the whole thing, and we're creating a collaboration, and we're going to be performing that live on my YouTube channel in April. And so that'll be exciting. But and one of the people involved in that project is on this call right now, Carol. So it's awesome.
All right.
That sounds great.
It does. So now we're going to let everybody else interact. So we're going to do a shout out to Renee for anybody that would like to congratulate Renee or say whatever they would like to say to her. And we'll start off by thanking Renee for sharing her story with us and coming with us on this journey. Next.
Well, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know how to do this. I'm probably doing it wrong. This is Mary Contreras and a friend of Renee's, and she is just so incredible and has really blessed the community that she is a part of down here in Baja California. So that's my shout out to Renee. Love you. Thank you, Renee.
Awesome. Anybody else? Maybe I'll say names so you're not trying to talk over each other. Philip, is there something you'd like to say?
Oh, sure. Yes, I'm always amazed by Renee. I've known her for 100 years. Lives. So yes, Renee, you're a writer. I mean, that's, yeah, one of our last big hangouts in San Diego. We would hang out and read cards and all kinds of stuff. But we were talking about writing, and this is just so cool. And it's like, I can't believe I had time and I got to tune into this because it's really something. And yes, Renee, you are a gifted individual, and I can't believe how much you have changed and opened up, because this girl was quiet. She, everybody else would talk, and then Renee, she'd wait her turn. But now it's like Renee is just like a whole different person, and I love it.
That's beautiful.
Awesome. Annabelle, how about you?
Yes, hi. Look, I've met Renee because we were doing this course together, and she asked for some help about Facebook, and I said, oh, I give her a hand. I know what to do. I just tell her. And as I told her, and showed her how to do lives on Facebook, she was like on fire. She's overnight, she just started to do all these things, and she was on it, and she was there all the time, and she's been communicating so well, with her community, and it was like, it was just this little thing she needed. And then I've been part of the Monday group. Actually, I'm in Australia, so I woke up every Tuesday at 6 a.m. and it was like, it was so lovely. It was still dark, and I just gathered with the group at sunrise, and her teaching been beautiful. Everything I've been learning with her, it's an amazing journey, and she's amazing. How she has such a big heart, and there's a big heart, there's her story, and there's how she shared that, and how she's so humble. So yes, it's been wonderful to meet her, and I'm so glad I'm here because she sent me an email to remind me.
We're glad to meet you. Thank you. Carol, would you like to say something?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? I just wanted to say congratulations, Renee. I'm so proud of you. I've known you for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now here in Baja. And I'm happy to be a part of the class as much as I can participate. And I'm just happy to watch Renee grow as a human being and as a creative artist, and also to be able to enjoy the fruits of her growth. So congratulations, Renee. So happy for you.
Claudia, would you like to say something? No, we'll move on. Claudia? Okay. How about Jim? You're on mute.
Yeah, how's that? Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm really stoked about this story, and it's something that really nobody has much talked about regarding this story is that it's got some layers to it. If you read it, you reread it again, ask yourself, what's going on here really? What's the deeper thing in this? It's kind of cool, and I'm not convinced that she really meant to do that. That's kind of the genius of the muse, though, that these things happen, and I'm really just very, very tickled with her. It's kind of like Philip was saying, you know, I don't know what the heck happened, but getting out here to Mexico and living a different life has really put a big shift in Renee, and she's really come into her own, got some nice confidence regarding her voice, and all of these things are amazing. And so I get to live with her, and you guys don't. Ha 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 ha.
Excellent. Thanks, Jim. On my screen, I know there's a couple other people that are here that I can't see to call out their names. So if anybody else wants to say something, feel free to jump in now.
I'll say something. Carmen Dominguez is one of the new friends here in Rosarito. Fairly new, right, Renee? And I've had some health challenges in the last few months, and I have been unable to attend a lot of this wonderful talks that she's been doing online. However, I have to just say that I really, really admire and respect Renee, because she has been so honest with herself, and she has been she has followed this calling to share her wisdom with all of us. And unfortunately, you know, my health issues have prevented me from participating. But we have coincided in one of our book study groups, and I I really respect her. She has also been helpful with our meditation group at Not Church. She has shared wonderful, you know, wisdoms and words that always, you know, leave me in awe, because she has really, really overcome so many things and challenges to get to where she is. So she's really, I really admire her. So I wanted to be here just to mention this and share with all of you who've known her for a longer time how much she's loved here in this community. So congratulations, Renee. Bravo for you.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else? This part's very fun for us, I just have to say. So thank you, everyone, for sharing. So along with this, with Renee's story, there's 41 other true personal essays that are included in the anthology In My Shoes. We're going to just share a couple of reviews with you in case you haven't had an opportunity to read the story. In My Shoes is a rich collection of short stories that wears its heart on its sleeve. It's easy to read at a quick pace, and readers will relate to specific narratives depending upon their life's experiences. Carol Skelton. There's something here for everyone. My next book club pick. You'll be inspired by these stories and the sheer grit of the women. Teresa Kane. I enjoyed reading In My Shoes. It's a remarkable anthology of very personal, poignant, and in some cases quite universal experiences. The overarching message I take from the assortment of events is that we should never feel alone with concerns or confusion over life's events. Take heart that this compilation of adventures, ordeals, and incidences will guide and heal as well as quite often amuse. Viv Fish. So you can keep up with Kaleidoscope and the K team by going to our website at www.kaleidoscopewojo.com. If you enjoy writing, there's many writing opportunities with our Cup of Wojo, with our contests. We have writing prompts. If you enjoy reading, we feature stories out there. We feature our Cup of Wojo, which is weekly on Saturdays. We feature interviews with our writers on Sundays, and then we feature various stories and contest winners. So there's a little bit of something for everybody on our website. So check it out. You can follow us or like us on our social media as well. Just want to say a quick thanks. We'd like to thank all the writers that have submitted to us and trusted us with their stories. Thank you, Renee, for sharing your talent with us. Thank you to Ryan Chester, the graphic designer, for all our images, Kaleidoscope, and the design and support of the website. And thank you to Jesse Terry, internationally known singer-songwriter and good friend, for the use of his song Kaleidoscope. And now the official signing. So get your copy of In My Shoes by going to our website or bookbaby.com. And so if you go to our website, just select buy book. So that's it, gang. Does anybody have anything else they want to say in parting to Renee? Thank you again, Renee, and congratulations.
You're awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing up for me for this. And thank you so much, Kaleidoscope anthology people. You guys are awesome. And I really thank you. And I thank all of you. Thank you.
Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
bye-bye.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you. Bravo.